Good day, Clara here, once again to share some great news with you. Did you know that St. Martin has its very own Thanksgiving Day? Yes, our very own Thanksgiving Day based on our cultural traditions and practices. And that practice is the acknowledgement and the celebration of the end of the hurricane season. Hurricane season runs June 1st to November 30th. And in 1999, the Executive Council of St. Martin declared the first Sunday in December as Public Thanksgiving. So for the past 21 years, the island government of St. Martin has been presenting a National Thanksgiving Day service where we invite everyone of every color, creed, and race and tradition and culture to come together to share in gratitude the ending of the hurricane season, but to offer gratitude for so much more. So here's my proposal to you. How about you, me, all of us? How about we grow and we build our Thanksgiving Day St. Martin style? How about we gather together with our loved ones at home in a safe environment to come together and share a Thanksgiving Day meal, a sweet St. Martin land style with all the trimmings, a cultural traditional St. Martin Day meal on Thanksgiving Day. That's the first Sunday in December. So I invite you to explore, to expand, to investigate how can we build this tradition amongst us so everyone knows that St. Martin has its very own Thanksgiving Day and is celebrated every first Sunday in December. Now, I've been invited to a fabulous Thanksgiving Day meal this coming Sunday, December 6th. I hope to hear you create one for yourself as well. In the meantime, allow me to invite you to the 21st annual Thanksgiving Day service presented by the Island Government of St. Martin this Sunday, December 6th, that will be broadcasted on the government Facebook page and the government website. Sunday, December 6th, the annual Thanksgiving Day of St. Martin. Let's make it great for each of us.
We had a meeting with the minister, and in that meeting we had some discussions. After the meeting, we called a general meeting with the staff of the justice chain, and they were not really contented with the answers that we received from the Minister of Justice. Even though we said it was a good meeting, for us it was a good meeting. We got some answers. Where it came to the immigration situation, we did understand that you cannot divulge what is happening before you talk to the people that is actually has to govern these things. So for us that was enough explanation, and we decided to wait until she contacted the ministry, the police force. But that was not, they did not feel that was the right thing to do, because they felt that because the rumors are there and they see construction going on, that things should have been underway going, which we as presidents cannot say, because if the minister said she did not contact the chief of police where the changes is, there is nothing else for us to say, because she has not approached any of the immigration officers that we know of to say that they will be moved from one area to the next. It's just rumors for us too. That's why we question it. But even the other departments besides police were also discontented because promises made in the past where they come to fixing of the building and making sure that they get the proper things that is still waiting for. Since June, we had a meeting, a good meeting with the Minister of Justice. We had a meeting with the director of the prison, and promises was made. Since they got a new director. We sat down, we spoke with them. There also promises was made, and according to the workers, none of these promises has been fulfilled. So there's no reason why we can say the members are discontented. They are very discontented, and that's why they are rebelling. And the honest way we feel that this thing can be solved is to get all the meetings together with the minister. The minister can come out also to speak to the different department heads with their members, because it has been done in the past. So sometimes hearing it from the right person makes a difference. The Minister of Justice, she does not always cooperate in speaking to the people that are concerned. Yes, you have a head of the department, but sometimes the head of the department don't always bring the message the way she might have bring it over, and that was also a problem when it came to the overtime for the workers, because not only by the police force but also by other departments, they understood different than what the minister said she meant. So if there's a conflict between one chief saying this and the next chief telling them that, and there becomes misunderstanding when it comes to those type of things. Sometimes it's good not only to go on social media and put things in the press, it's good to also contact yourself, because they are your staff. So you can always set a meeting and say, I'm coming to speak to my personnel, and that would be a great help to the members.
It must be understood that timeshare owners pay upfront. They, like now so, matter of fact, from November, they were paying the timeshare fees for the whole year. So there's no lacking or wanting of income for timeshare properties, because they receive the monies upfront. The owners have until February to pay the entire year subscription for maintaining the properties. That is, to pay salaries, taxes, whatever expenses that the timeshare operation has to incur. Those monies are guaranteed, are paid. So that's why when we saw many of them apply for stimulus package, we were also against that, because they took money but still cut the employee's salary up to today. Matter of fact, besides those categories I just mentioned, hotel, all-inclusive, and timeshare, we have condos, private condos, where the owners, some are on the island and some live off island, but they rent those condos, those luxurious homes, for enormous amount of monies. But those monies doesn't come to St. Martin. They remain off island, mainly in the USA. But I want to bring something forward also, which I brought last week. For example, at Puerto Copacabana, where mainly condos, right now the condos owners are upset with the managers, are those who are running the property, because they are threatening to terminate faithful employees, 10 years or more, who were ill-treated, abused by those who manage the place. And just to mention, we have the main man, Mr. Francisco Corralo. We have another man who claimed to be the manager, Roy Moose, and another one which I call a puppet manager, Mr. Paul Puran. These are the guys who are threatening the workers at Port Copacoy. We have also problems where employees receive the salary cuts and that timeshare property receive monies like Oyster Bay Resort. We believe, like the Minister of Health, Labor and Social Affairs every week would give an update on COVID crisis, he should also give an update on employees who receive salary cuts and who make many complaints at the Labor Office, as well as those companies that receive monies and are not paying the workers as they should. We also want to give you an update on properties that will be open soon. For example, Royal Palm and Flamingo, they, I would say, are good employers. Why? After the hurricane, we came to an agreement where those employees will be paid out their full years of service. The reason why, because those employees, as we know, were part of the Pelican Resort group of resorts. Flamingo and Royal Palm were separated. But in our CLA, that's why CLA is important, we guarantee that those years of service at Pelican will be maintained with the new owners of Royal Palm and Flamingo. So those employees receive a good payout, and part of our arrangement was that when they reopen, their jobs will be guaranteed if they are available. Right now, they are doing interviews. So many employees are now receiving the assurance of their continued employment. We would dialogue with the owners and the employees within short as to how we will be working together going forward. Those other companies that are very stubborn in working with the union, then we are taking a few of them to court. For example, tomorrow, Friday, we'll have a court decision about Little Switzerland, stores on Front Street and in the harbor, where for years that company made millions of dollars. But still, in the time of crisis, because of the government promise of subsidies, without consulting the unions, and I want to give an admonition to our ministers, our political leaders, please speak to the unions before you go and talk to anybody else. It's imperative that you speak to the unions. We can share information with you, we can dialogue with you, and don't see us as what you call your enemies or your adversaries. We are working together to build our country, to build our island, to build our economy, and making sure that human rights are respected and poverty is eliminated. Many workers come daily and complain about the hardship. The GB bills, very high. You have the house rents, landlords having no sympathy. Banks would agree to give car dealers big appreciation, discounts. And that's something that we analyze within our economy. A person will get a loan to buy a car quicker than get a loan to build a house or build an apartment or somewhere where they can have security. As we know, when you purchase a vehicle, the moment that you leave the dealership yard, that depreciates. So we have to also educate and re-inform our people how to move forward in the future in terms of investment, stability, and tranquility.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
We are still in the month of November, where we are celebrating or commemorating and bringing awareness to domestic violence. And as such, on Saturday, I will be participating in a live panel discussion with other speakers such as Ms. Cassandra Richardson, Mr. Emilio Calmera, Ms. Sandra Whitfield, Patricia Richardson, Suhendra Leon, and this is on a part of this organized by Safe Haven Foundation, St. Martin, and you are asked to join this panel discussion to gain the information necessary to break the cycle if you are in a toxic relationship, as well as to help not just the victims, but also those who are perpetrators or abusers who would seek to get the necessary help to break this cycle. The opportunity lies in information and in the ability to get these answers, and I welcome each and every one to participate in this event in order for us to do so. November is also the month that we celebrate our youth, and so on the 20th of November, it was International Youth Day, and I do commemorate all those who are working in the field of youth and continue to do so. As you know, it is sometimes mentioned as a cliche, but what we do today will determine our future, and so we must build what we need, and that is strong young women, young men to lead this country forward. Remember, we are facing COVID-19. It has not gone anywhere. Community spread continues, and as we work diligently to mitigate the spread here on St. Martin, I ask the people of St. Martin to be very conscious of each person's behavior. We must not become complacent. It is up to us. I have also noted that it is up to us also to keep our island clean. Cleanliness is part of keeping this virus as well as other diseases at bay. Get healthy, build up your immune systems, exercise often, and ensure to continue to wear masks at all times when in social settings. Stay away from large crowds. In fact, avoid them and keep a social distance of at least 2 meters or 6 feet away from other persons. Keep up with your good hygiene practices. Avoid the handshaking, hugging, and kissing. We know it's part of our culture, but until we can stop the spread completely, it is best to avoid all these things that we know makes us St. Martiners. But do so, in doing this, you are actually showing love and caring for each other and for the longevity of this country. We want to be able to keep things going, but it is totally up to us, each and every one of us.
Any infections that happens in the schools are handled via CPS. It means that the privacy, the health information of the persons are safeguarded, and the normal protocol that is followed, that is that persons who are found to be positive are asked to be quarantined, and then the follow-up that takes place with the how you call it, the contact tracing. Those persons are also asked to quarantine. This information and these guidelines are all placed in the education continuity plan, which was rolled out. And at the beginning, I also spoke about it, that the plan is there and the plan is being followed. in the plan, all of those who have received, and the plan was also published, you can find forms that indicate what must happen if a staff or a teacher or a student is found to be positive on location, how it must be treated. At the schools, during the submission of their safety plans, all schools have in place an area which is considered to be a sick bay, an area where a person must go and wait until someone comes and pick them up if they are deemed to be positive on the location, on school. So the reporting is in place, the investigation is in place, and most definitely the privacy of the person is also safeguarded. In regards to your second question, that has to do with the naturalization exams. If all is well, it should have already been in the newspapers today, because a press release was sent out and it actually indicates that re-registrations for the current candidates from Monday, November 16, 2020, up until Friday, November 27, 2020, are all canceled. Secondly, registrations for future and new candidates from Monday, November 2nd, 2020, up until Tuesday, November 10, 2020, are also canceled. And I guess a new update will come out for the beginning of the year. And this happened because of the high amount of infections in the community. Some measures have been taken. It is not that the exams will never happen again. It is that because of the level of contamination in the community, some measures have been taken in regards to the naturalization exams.
Thank you, Minister Sam. Yes,
can I get a clarity, please? Minister, I didn't ask you if the protocol is not in place and if it's not in the continuity plan. I'm fully aware because I got that publication. What I'm asking is there inspections? Is there people who are really following up on this? Because if teachers, and I'm saying this teachers, not children, teachers contacted me with this information, I assume that this information has to be true. I didn't ask you either to release the person's identity. I'm just asking if there are checks and balances. We are back resuming face-to-face education, Minister.
Bibi, thank you for the follow-up. As I have indicated, and I am sure that you understand that out of my answering, that every school have an area allocated that if someone is deemed sick and the school itself don't know exactly yet what is wrong with that person goes to that location and then someone comes and take them to where they have to go. The person would then have to report to their doctor, and if the person has the symptoms that are common with the COVID virus, the person is then tested. When the person is tested positive, then CPS is the one who takes over, and the person is then asked to quarantine for a certain amount of time. Anyone who is then have found to be in contact with that person through contact tracing, those persons are also asked to also quarantine. If, I get calls also about persons who have heard and persons who believe to know that a person is positive or a person is told them they are positive. What I do is try to get my information as much as possible via the health professionals on the island and go according to those informations that I receive. So I cannot verify for 3 or 4 persons. I have had persons who call and say, my neighbor or a student in my child class. And we cannot always go with those stories. So I can understand that persons called you and I can't add to it. I thank you.
The innovative Banco Matico contactless smart card. Your Banco Matico smart card is now equipped with a contactless feature for payments, so get ready to tap and go. Contactless payments are fast, easy, secure, and accepted worldwide at all Maestro-enabled contactless terminals. Tap for transactions equivalent to or less than 100 NAF, or the US dollar equivalent. You will receive notifications via email anytime you tap. Tap, tap, and pay fast with WIB. For more information, visit our website at wib-bank.net. Tap and go with your partner in progress.
Issues that I think is important. It was brought up and touched upon somehow, somewhat today in a different context maybe, is the pricing of long lease, the so-called canon. When I was minister, I had started working on a policy for that, in that direction, and I think it is needed. While I was commissioner back in the 1990s, we then introduced the hillside policy. The hillside policy brought with it that land was given out under certain restrictions in the hillsides, and to protect the hillside, and then I'm kind of answering at the same time a question posed by my colleague, whether it is one standard size. No, it is not one standard size. Certain places, the lot based on the slope and the height would be maybe 1,200 square meters. In another area, somebody might end up getting 2,000 square meters, sometimes 2,200 square meters because of the location, the slope, etc. Where I'm going at with my statement is that there is no policy regulating, and to avoid exactly what some of my colleagues had been speaking about earlier, that you get this kind of sliding scale, or the willekeur, the judgment of whoever is in office at that time is like, okay, let him pay 10 guilders and let him pay 15 or not. While you see arrangements have been made for businesses, no arrangements have been made for the small man, so to speak, who wants a piece of land in the hill to build a home. So somebody gets 2,000 square meters of land, but can only build one home and can only occupy X amount, the footprint can only be X amount of square meters.